All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Diamond Rivera, and we are back at it with another episode of the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. Guys, we're on the road to 200 episodes, and tonight's guest is a very special one indeed. This podcast is taking its talents right now to the great area of North Carolina. I'm talking to a visual artist, DJ, entrepreneur, and so much more. And guys, we're going to get started. Representing North Carolina, we have the one and only Galileo.
Hi, hello.
my brother, man. And first of all, it's really good to see you. Haven't seen you in a couple months since that Zoot Weekender back in Manhattan a few months ago.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous, I have to say. So,
Of course, listen, man. Don't don't worry here. This is definitely a safe space for you. But first of all, Galileo. First things first. I just want to thank you again coming on to the podcast. As we've talked as well privately, I think it's really important highlighting every aspect of an artist, whether you're an organizer, promoter, DJ, visual artist, performer, everything and above. And for me, having you on means a lot. First of all, I love the work you've been doing recently with Icon Light, and as well, you being a DJ. You've been doing a lot of great things, but first of all, thank you for coming on tonight.
well, thank you for having me, and I really appreciate this space. Probably not a lot of people will know who I am, and it's really important for artists and creators and people who want to express
Mhm.
themselves to have a space, right? So I think you're doing a great job with this platform promoting and also having the dance community engage like through your memes and posts and yeah you create the discussion, so I really appreciate your having me. Thank you.
No, definitely. For me, like you said, even the memes and the things I write on social media, for me, it is a conversation starter, but also I try to do add context. But most of all, like you said, really getting the dance community engaged, whether it's topics on what improvements we want, topics on the visual aspect of an event, everything in between. Because again, I would love for our community from 2022 and onwards to grow positively instead of negatively. And if there's any way I can do that, I'm here. But for me, having you here means a lot because, again, as a person who does media, um, I believe media is really a heavy contributor to the success of our dance world in the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, whether it's zouk, bachata, salsa, kizomba, West Coast swing, salsa, everything in between. For me, having people who have a lens, who have a camera, who are shooting film or videography are really vital because they are really the kind of the first-hand look at what it's like at events. But then you having the added focus of now being a DJ, so you're understanding the people on the dance floor as a DJ, but also as a visual artist. But for me, I love always understanding the journey. And we know you didn't just come out the womb with a camera or a DJ controller, but I think it's also important understanding kind of the journey and how everything started. So kind of help us understand how or who really is Galileo Flores.
Okay, I'll give you the bootleg DVD version of the story. Like you have to wait for the Blu-ray DVD.
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm originally from Nicaragua,
Mm,
in Central America, and like before 2012, 2013, 2012, yeah, I had a pretty normal life. I went
mhm,
to college. I had a job from 5 to, I don't know, 10 p.m. And there was a moment, I'm summarizing a lot right now.
no,
There,
no worries, no worries.
there was a point in my life where I had some health issues, and
Mhm,
my doctor recommended me to have some more exercise, to exercise a little bit more, and to have more
mhm,
physical activity. And back in my hometown, my country is a very complicated place, like
mhm,
in many ways. My country, the part of the country that is closer to the Atlantic Ocean,
Yeah.
was colonized by England, so we have more like, and I was born in that
Mm.
area. So we have more like a Caribbean culture. You know, I grew up as a like a person of a mixed person, but like
Yeah.
my hometown was like the majority of the population is black, right?
Hmm.
So we and I say black. I really don't want. I really want to be politically correct, but like to me, the term African in that context, I don't know. It's a little bit complicated, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go with black, right? So the thing is, I grew up with this culture and soca English. The Creole English was the main language in the region. So I
Hmm.
grew up with a lot of influences of this music, reggae soul, and some others, right? And I love music since I was a kid. I play in the band, and I used to like take part in the carnival we had, you know, playing
Okay.
like trumpet and drums.
Yeah.
But then I moved to the other side of the country to do my college, right? To get my college degree, and then I started working. So anyway, I used to dance salsa, like I like to say like freestyle salsa, because
The home way, kind of how we grew up, and yeah.
yeah, like the birthday party kind of salsa, right?
Yeah.
No technique, no counting, no complicated patterns, nothing.
None of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so because that made me a little bit different from the rest, right? So you know, like when you're a kid, you're trying to find a way to kind of like find a way to define the thing that define you, right?
Hmm.
But then when I started college, I went to a bar in the other side of the country, right? And I
Hmm.
saw a couple dancing salsa, Cuban salsa, and they were amazing. I was like, oh my god, that is salsa, and I wanted to learn. But then I got busy with school and then work, and I never had time. And I kept saying, like next year I'm going to start taking lessons and stuff. You know, like the procrastination is based a little bit based on yeah, my job and schedule was pretty tight,
Hmm.
but also there was some sort of insecurity, you know, like yeah, I was like afraid of being rejected and afraid of oh my god, what if I'm not suitable, I'm not fitted for this activity, right? So I don't know, there was a lot of procrastination. But by the way, my my cat is scratching the door, so
No worries.
it might get filtered.
It's all good. It's all good.
So then I started, like, finally, because of the health issues, I took the courage to start learning salsa, Cuban salsa,
Hmm.
and I loved it. And apparently, I was good enough, you know, like to to continue learning and practicing and dancing. So that's how I got into dance. And then I feel that everybody in the
Yeah.
dance community tries to find a role. I would say a role.
Yes.
In my case, I like music, and I had a lot of songs in my on my computer, and I started playing music just for my friends' socials and, like,
Hmm.
like friends gathering. And then I moved to Taiwan. I moved to Taiwan because I was doing my master's degree over there, and then in Taiwan, the way or the thing that helped me feel normal and home was dancing. So there was a dance studio a few blocks from my university, and that's the first social I visited in Taiwan. Like, I attended in Taiwan, and it was really good. So I started dancing more and
Hmm.
learning more styles. So like, at that moment, I knew bachata, Cuban salsa, and I was learning
Yeah.
one too, like New York style. And again, like, I was new in town, I wanted to find my role, my place, and so I started DJing again, but now more like taking it more seriously. And I will say that I had a friend, and she had a bar in Taiwan,
Hmm.
like salsa bar, you know, like something simple. So I used to go there and DJ with my computer. But then I had another friend who owns a studio in Taiwan, another studio, and he organized, or he used to organize, festival. And one day he comes and he says like, "Hey, we have Formosa Salsa Festival this year. It was 2018, sorry."
Mm.
And he was like, "We want to have you because we like what you do." I have to say that was like an inflection point, and everything changed. At the time, I
Yeah.
didn't have a gear. I only had my computer, and
Hmm.
that was like I went home walking. In Taiwan is very safe, so you can actually walk home.
Okay. I was gonna say, what streets are we walking on right now?
Yeah. It was like maybe 4 miles probably, and I kept thinking like this stuff, scratching stuff because I use a different word. Uh,
Yeah.
it's getting serious, so I decided to invest on my gear. I got a controller. I got better headphones and started collecting more songs. Yeah, and
Hmm.
then like everything started to grow, and I started teaching kizomba because I like the music a lot,
Hmm.
and zouk. And well, zouk has a particular story. I got into zouk because of a girl.
Hey, I mean, everybody has their story. Trust me,
There is
everybody.
always a girl, and yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I got into zouk and media like photography. Started as a hobby, and I still have my first camera. Actually, this is my first camera ever got it. Ever got
Wow.
it. So
Is that a look?
A Sony 3000 mirrorless.
Wow. I haven't seen one of. Wow. Hey, I love the throwback.
Yeah, this camera, it's really simple, and this
Hmm.
is one of the lessons that I've learned in my life. It was really simple and limited. It is a mirrorless camera,
Yeah.
and but that this is the camera that I could afford at the time. And my goal was to just like take better pictures and share them with my friends. And I never thought that people would like some of the pictures that I
Hmm.
took. And I realized that this camera has a lot of limitations, a lot. You have no idea.
Yeah.
And like when you work with limitations, you kind of like start figuring out things and make things work
Yeah.
with limited resources. So I think it's really useful for people who want to get into any kind of like artistic activity or hobby
Hmm.
or passion. Just use what you have.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, what's interesting is that, like you said, you were in a position that you kind of had limited resources with what you had,
I
but
still
you
have.
made the hey, but you still made the best out of it. And realizing is that a organizer from a festival believed in you when you just had a computer. So when things get better and now you have a controller and you have a headphones and things are looking up, I mean, everything really happens for a reason. A question I have for you though is you going from Nicaragua to Taiwan, and I've heard so many stories about, especially Asia. For me, hearing especially the Asian dancers, whether in Japan, China, Taiwan, wherever they are, in Korea, are amazing technical dancers.
Mm,
And the realization is that you can learn so many styles from another part of the world that doesn't have any Latin history, quote
mm.
unquote. And really, like, how was that kind of a culture shock for you of coming from Nicaragua, going to Taiwan, and you're being able to learn all of these styles?
My dance teacher is Polish. Polish.
Okay.
Polish. And my sub teachers, well, one is Alex de Carvalho, who is
Hmm.
Brazilian, and also the other teacher is from Singapore, and
Oh, okay.
she's Singaporean, right? So I think what you just say is really interesting. I feel, and this is my opinion, and with
Yes,
all
absolutely.
this is what I observed in Asia, right? In Asia in general, I traveled to Japan, Korea, China,
Hmm.
and other Southeast Asian countries. They are really technical and they train hard. And when I say
Yes.
hard, I don't think the word hard is enough. They
Hmm.
train with a lot of dedication and discipline.
Mm.
The thing is that the culture, the culture is something that has a lot of influence. So the dedication, the passion, and the obedience and discipline they have is based on the culture. If they are to do anything, they will try to do it to the best to their skills. Um, so I feel like, in a way, that is something positive,
Hmm.
but it has some cons, and
Absolutely.
one of them to me is like the passion sometimes takes a second. The flavor, or yeah, the
Ah,
flavor, the flow takes a second place, because
gotcha.
it's all about timing, being on time. It's all about the pattern that should work perfectly. It's all about a lot of it. It's not everybody, right?
Yeah, no, no, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I
Giving like a
totally understand.
general idea, but yeah, like that is something that I will say that, at least to me, was kind of like a deterrent for enjoying more my dancing over there. There are
Gotcha.
amazing dancers, and I have, and like COVID gave us many lessons, and one of them to me was, there was a Korean guy living in Taiwan, and he was teaching. That guy had so much passion. He was one of the best dancers I ever seen. He
Hmm.
went to Cuba, and he got crazy about Wawanko, about the Orisha culture, about San,
Mm.
about all of these things, and he learned the rumba. He
Yeah.
learned so many things, and the way that guy danced, it was amazing. Sadly, he passed away because of COVID, and the entire community in Asia and Taiwan was really sad because of this. But yeah, he was really amazing. So in my case, I learned a lot from them: the discipline, the dedication, and also some skills as well from my teachers.
That's great. I mean, hey, I've known many people that have traveled to Asia and learned a lot. But again, this is your experience. Of course, there's always going to be some pros as well as cons. It's life. There's always have to be a balance. So then now coming into, like you said, into the DJing role, which you kind of more put in that role. What was the experience like for you actually at that festival? You get there with the DJ control and all the equipment, like your first setup. What was that feeling like?
It was hot, man. It was hard. Like, I was dancing, and I was so tired. I was so nervous. You have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
saw that the previous DJ, he was finishing his set, and the people were dancing, and I was like, what if the song I play, they don't like it? Like,
Yeah.
they clean the dance floor, and everybody leaves, and I was like having this like minor panic attack.
Mm.
I went to the restroom. I really wanted to take a shot of tequila or something, to
Get the nerves off.
call it liquid courage.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I was like, no, I want to be sure that whatever I'm doing, it's me. Like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to mess around with this thing. I really wanted to be professional. So yeah, I started with the first song. People kept dancing. The
Yeah.
second song, okay, then I felt a little bit more confident about myself. But like, I have to tell you something. In the dance community, people will dance. So honestly, I feel like the number of people dancing is not a good measure of the
Mhm.
quality of the DJ or music, because like,
Mm.
we go to congresses to dance. So
Yeah.
even when the DJ sucks, we will keep dancing, because I mean, we're really there. We already pay, like, in
Yeah,
that.
you paid your money. You're like, I'm just gonna keep going.
So I say this because, like, it took me a couple of years to realize this. Like, yeah, people dancing is not the best way to measure whether I did it. I try to evaluate my work every time.
Hmm.
So I realized, no, 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 it's not the best way because people will dance regardless, right? There are other ways to identify. The first one is asking for feedback, like organizers
Yes.
or dancers, like, hey, what do you think about the music? It was good, or nah, it was too fast, or like too much
Hmm.
of this genre, or too less of this.
Ah,
It's
I
better to
see.
ask, and also like the way they dance or some things you observe. So in that case, yeah, that was my first gig, like a big one, and after that, like um I started getting more invitations and I
Hmm.
started traveling. And like the first time that someone called me, like, no, actually it was an email, and they were like, we want to have you at our festival, and are you willing to come? This is what we offer. And I was like, wow, this is great. And like the apex of that feeling was,
Yeah.
this is so embarrassing.
No, no, no. Honestly,
the
I appreciate it. I
the
appreciate it.
apex of that feeling was in China, in Shanghai. Um, I went to this congress, and they sent someone to pick me up at the airport. That was the first time that thing happened
Wow.
ever. And like I'm coming out, and the guy is waiting with a sign.
Oh yeah, with your name on it and
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
DJ 6. I was like, that's me. Wow. And yeah, it was. I feel like a little kid every time I think about this, and
Mhm.
every time I say this, because I feel like it's really it's silly, but that made me feel really really great. And actually, the organizers, they treated me really really nice. I have no words to thank them. And
Yeah.
yeah, sadly, it's another festival congress that died with COVID.
Hmm.
But
I mean,
yeah.
it's really all experiences. I mean, many of us like yourself remember congresses back then, years prior before COVID, and now in 2022, things are a lot different. Whether events that have come back, events that are no longer with us, even maybe dancers, like you said, that are no longer with us, coming back to a community that looks almost brand new now. I mean, it's almost an influx of new people, and that usually happens with the time. So now my question to you is something you kind of touched on. Was then you're really now the introduction, or how did you get involved in Zoom?
Okay, so there was a girl, and
Hmm.
I was really into her, and I was trying to find ways to spend more time.
Hmm.
Actually, she's from California, but she was living in Taiwan.
Yeah.
uh, and I was trying to find ways to spend more time with her, so I suggested my kizomba is really basic. I will say,
Hmm.
like, I will go back to level 0 again. And but I like the dance, and I like the music as well. So
Hmm.
I thought about um, practicing some kizomba and bachata with her. And then she said, "Oh, actually, I'm more interested in zouk. Would you like to practice zouk?" And I was like, "Okay, I know zouk. So go back to my hometown. In my country, or in my hometown, we have the word soca, right?
Oh,
So
you thought Soka was Zook?
not quite yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
there is the origin of the dance zouk is in Brazil, right? It happened in Brazil.
Hmm.
But the story goes like, there is a group called Kasab, and they made an album, and basically the name of the album, and the most important song in that album is "Souk is the medicine for your life." It's in French, right? Because they speak French.
Yes.
And Zouk means party in their slang, in the slang of this. I think the country is Martinique. I think the country is
Hmm.
Martinique, and the name of the group is Casaf. So this music made its way to Brazil, and there was a transition from lambada to something slower, and
Hmm.
then the dancers and instructors started using this Caribbean music. So I knew what souk was, because we used to dance to this song, "Souk is the medicine for your life," at birthday parties, and then when I was in high school. So to me, it was pretty normal.
Mhm.
First time we went together with the girl to a Zouk class, they played Drake.
Mm.
Like,
What?
this is not Zouk.
Oh.
Of course, like this much I knew about Brazilian Zouk, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, of course, like later I learned about the real story and what
Mhm.
are what is the background of the Zouk dance. But in that moment, we started practicing a little bit, and then I started watching the videos. Shandy, I think it was Shandy and Alex de Carvalho.
Mhm.
And the first Zouk video I watched and that I actually used for practicing is it was from Rael or Riel. He was
Yeah,
very,
right out.
yeah, Rael. Yeah, that was the first video, and he was explaining the lateral, and that's how I got into the dance. And then I was still a beginner, and then the organizer of Suk Sensation in Singapore, who
Mhm.
was also teaching in Taiwan, and I took her class.
Mhm.
This girl, she's amazing, man. She's like she was at the time maybe 17 years old, and she was already touring, organizing a congress,
Wow.
and teaching, and it was amazing. That girl can hustle, and she asked me to DJ for her event. I remember I went to that event and I DJ 2 nights, and then
Mhm.
I danced 5 times. Well, not 5 songs.
Mhm.
In Asia, there is the trend is to dance only one song. You know, like the culture from salsa and bachata.
Yeah.
It's, you dance one song and then you switch partners. So at the time, it was pretty common that the DJ will not blend, will not mix 2 songs, and keep this continuous thread of music, right?
Yeah.
So at the time, I danced with my friends only 5 songs because I had zero to none knowledge of Zouk, or at least I didn't feel confident about dancing.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a great experience, and yeah, I was also very nervous, but yeah, it was a great experience. And I that was the first time that I was actually playing and blending music, and then I started to keep this trend because that's what I observed in other. I before the congress, I prepare myself watching videos and artists, and especially the artists that were teaching at that
Mhm.
event. So I started watching their demos. Oh, this is the music they use. They use a lot of this and that, and
Yeah.
like the gathering songs, and yeah, that's how I prepare myself. So I try to blend, and I had some good transitions, and I had some very terrible ones.
Hey, I mean, hey, it happens with whether it's with artists having a bad show or a good show, DJs and everyone in between. And that's really eye opening to see kind of that story of how it dived in and realizing like, hey, to be honest, not many DJs or not many just figures are open to saying like, hey, it was a bumpy road, it wasn't always easy, and that's okay. We're gonna figure out who this is, but they say here his DJing is ridiculously good, always excited when he is in New York City. We're gonna figure out who that is as well. We got to give a big shout out to Ifosa.
Oh,
You
it
know,
was
the,
like no one can boost your confidence like Ifosa. Like,
I
yeah,
love Ifosa, man.
he came. Like, I was in New York last week, and he came to me, and he was with this big smile, and I was like,
Absolutely.
I feel so much better now.
Hey, I mean, and of course, it is Ifosa. I say he's on the different channels that we're on right now, but big shout out to Ifosa. I would
Yeah,
say I've heard he is the spokesperson for Zouk in New York City, from what
and
I
he's a
hear.
great DJ. You know, like
Yes, man.
he's really smooth when he's playing. I've never seen him playing live, but I use like I he shares his
The mixed cloud
yeah,
sets.
on Mixclouds, and so I like to check what they play, and the transition is really really good, and he's such a nice person, so I really appreciate it, Fosa. Thank you very much.
Hey, and but most of all, what I love hearing about you, Galileo, is that from kind of every experience you've had that's been really meaningful in your journey, you're taking bits and pieces from that experience and learning from it. Whether it's like you said, the dancers, the artists, you're learning their music selections, you're learning how they move, you're learning the crowds when you're DJing. I mean, that right there shows a student of the game. No matter what game you're playing, it shows that you're really key on learning, which I love hearing. So now, at least a few more questions that I actually have for you is, in 2022, or actually even before 2022, you actually, of course, like you said, got into Zouk, but you actually made the trek, or you took your talents from you went from Nicaragua to Taiwan, and then you came to the States. So, kind of help us or fill us in how you landed in North Carolina.
Well, because I don't have to pay rent.
Oh
So
my God.
the thing is, like, in Taiwan, my visa was linked to my job,
Mm,
and then then I lost my job, so I lost my visa. So I was thinking about where else to go, and honestly, these are difficult times. Like
yeah.
COVID made everything way way more difficult. So I have my sister in North Carolina,
Mm,
and she has a house. So I thought about, like, okay, maybe I can go there
mm,
and stay with her, and that's why I got here. And the thing is, like, you might have a good plan for your life,
yeah.
and then life can just go and say, you know what? So
Yeah.
I remember I had 2021, no,
Mhm.
2020 booked, fully booked the whole year. I had Congress
Oh man.
artists.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I organize events in Taiwan, related to souk and also like Latin music in general. With
Mhm.
my partner, she's from Minneapolis, and she's also now in the United States, and we are we were having this souk social running for over two years.
Yeah.
It was really nice to work with her, and she always inspired me so much in many ways. And I feel like one of the things that I feel thankful for is that my dancing is kind of like a reflection of how she feels about the dance. Like,
Mhm.
in the way that I try to be gentle, I try to be respectful, I try to make the dance safe, because she constantly complained about, like, oh my god, my neck is, it's killing me, because I
Yeah.
this experience, like, oh my god. So then I need to be careful about this. Anyway, so I had 2020 fully booked, even a trip to Brazil.
Mm.
And then COVID came, like, you know what? No, you're not going. No, but I
You're not going.
no. And so, yeah, so that year was a disaster in many ways. And yeah, like, I feel like we need to learn, one of the things we need to learn and keep learning is how
Mhm.
to overcome adversity.
Yes.
A very short story, and it's related to my souk dance. So I told you that I danced like 5 songs at
Mhm.
that Congress. So I never felt that my dancing was taking off in souk. So my friend told me about this Congress in Prague, and I had a terrible experience a few weeks before the Congress,
Mhm.
DJ wise, and I
Yeah.
was even thinking about quitting,
Mhm.
because I feel like there were some confusions and some misunderstandings. It was not even my set, but I got all the heat. I got
Oh wow.
I got all the heat. All the critics were anyway. It was a bad experience. So I
Mhm.
was even thinking about, like, you know what, maybe this is not worthy. I'm not feeling happy, so I should let this go and focus on something else. Anyway, so we went to Europe, right? So I was like kind of like down and depressed about this stuff, and I asked my friend, like I don't see myself dancing in souk 10 days from 9 to 7 a.m. Right? So maybe I'll try to find a bachata or salsa event or party. And
Mhm.
then I got there, I was depressed already, and then someone stole my wallet with all my
Oh
money.
my God! Wow, just like the bad luck just keeps
Yeah,
coming.
but you know what? That was the best Congress ever to me.
Hmm.
I had so much fun. Of course, after solving my problems, like I got a friend who wired me some money from Taiwan so I could like finish the trip. I still had
Yeah.
passport, so after canceling my credit card and everything, everything was fine. So I really enjoyed that Congress, and I was actually dancing from 9 to 7 every day for 10 days. So I feel like after that Congress, I felt renewed. Not
Mhm.
not because I DJ or I did something related to what I do, and it was
Mhm.
great. I felt better because I realized that first, you're not alone. You have your friends, you have your network who supports you. And I saw my friend, her name is Allison, by the way.
Mhm.
I saw Allison supporting me and enjoying the Congress with me. And I realized this is why I want to stay. I want to keep doing what I do because my friends are in this community and because they support me. So if one or two or three people like what I do, um, that's really great if these people are close to me, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's how I landed in North Carolina because of my sister, and
Mhm.
now um, I've been meeting a lot of people like you, man. I met you, and it was like a really like an instant connection. Like, oh my god, he's doing video. I like video. I want to show him what I did. So
Absolutely, I love that video you did with the two
yeah, I
Taiwanese
get some
artists.
feedback. Like, I hope he would not destroy it in my.
No, no, no. I mean, if I have to say honestly, Galileo, one thing I appreciate is collaboration, is understanding, because in our business, it can be very cutthroat. So many artists, they already have a pre-assumption of the next artist that, oh, they might not like this, they might not understand my vision. But for me, like I've always said, everyone who has a camera that chooses to go into this field, they have a responsibility on being authentic to themselves. And if I can see the authenticity with what you're doing, I appreciate it, because it's easy to do what everyone else is doing. It's very easy. If you learn the settings, you learn the angles. If I want to do what everybody else was doing, I would do it. I know exactly, but for me to take it a step in a different direction and say, now I'm going to do it my way, and I feel people are going to appreciate it. And like we've talked, I've done many events, congresses, festivals, parties, you name it, just to keep learning. Because at the end of the day, I'm still learning. But meeting people like you is why I love what I do.
Yeah, yeah, man. Thank. So, and like I met people from Charlotte, from Raleigh, New York, some other DJs like Ifosa and Vinny from New York and DJ Power. I met DJ Power online because I'm part of iHeartSoup Radio. So yeah, but like meeting these people in person, it feels so great. And like I don't know, I feel like I miss my community. I miss Taiwan, but I feel like the community here is also growing and
Yeah.
in a way like I feel welcome, and I really appreciate that. And I'm really thankful for this crisis because this crisis is showing me some other options and it's showing me that there is more out there. You know.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But I would say honestly, like you said, the the adversity that you've gone through your journey has shown that you're able to overcome it. So to see that the adversity maybe you went through in Nicaragua, in Taiwan, coming to the States, no matter what it was, personally, monetarily, spiritually, physically, mentally, everything in between, you still being able to overcome that is special, because there is something that I noticed as we were talking throughout this time, was really you questioning yourself on a lot of decisions you made. And like I've told many people, a lot of times we are our worst critics. We're the first ones to bring ourselves down before so we could give someone else a chance. And
Yeah.
it happens. It's everybody's mental is built differently. And for me, I tell people it's okay. But realizing is that you're putting work out there that someone else can be inspired by. Just like you told me as well, you creating a video that I absolutely loved, and then a few days or weeks later, two artists from Taiwan message you and tell you how much you inspired them. So that right there is, I would say, proof in the pudding. But at least now, our last question before we get into our fun segment called the randoms is, we're in 2022. The dance scene is growing, especially a lot more Zouk events than ever before. But for you, really, Galileo, what are some things you're looking forward to this year and also next year?
Well, I have a very long list of projects. I think like in terms of priorities right now, my main goal is to connect with more people,
Hmm.
um, to have more people know, like discovering what I do or the things that I'm interested in, and
Yeah.
to find myself a spot, right? So it's been a slow. Well, I don't know if I should say this, but it's been a slow process, maybe. But like if I compare what I mean, I came here in August,
Hmm.
and I feel like already I'm connecting with a lot of people and helping the community in Raleigh and
Yeah.
community in Charlotte, like in with what I do. So I feel
Yeah.
that is a lot of progress for these past months, and even with like the context of COVID. So for now, that would be the first goal, to have more people knowing what I do and maybe inviting me to work with them. That would be great.
Hmm.
The second one is I like storytelling, and I've been limited by the software that I use for editing, which is
Hmm.
Final Cut.
Hmm.
And back in Taiwan, I had an iMac, but I had to sell it because, well, I was leaving the country, right? So that is one of the goals that I want to work more
Hmm.
on this year, is like to tell more stories.
Gotcha.
Um, and I'm thinking about 3 documentaries that I want to do,
Mm.
and to tell stories from my community. I mean, Fayetteville, where I live, and if I can work with some artists and tell their stories as well, that would be great. Like dancers or painters
Hmm.
or any artist. I have a fascination for artists. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like they are creative and passionate, and I don't know. I feel that interesting and attractive. So that is one thing. Another one is like you were saying, that we are very hard on ourselves, criticizing what we do. And I have I've been working on this album that I want to release. It is not necessarily souk oriented,
Hmm.
or bachata remixes. Is something that I've been working on, like do a couple of remixes and also make my own tracks.
Yeah.
And but like I started this project maybe in 2019,
Hmm.
and then I stopped because I felt like, oh, it's not improving, it's not what I want. I don't think this is ready. So I decided to work on that this year, and try to finish that, no matter the quality, because I think that I have to put it out there and get feedback,
Hmm.
because it's not going to be any better if I just keep it for myself.
Yeah.
And the last project, I told you, is a long list. I like drawing, and I was taking some online courses to improve
Hmm.
my drawing, and I got the crazy stupid idea of creating my own store, my own anime story. So I'm working on
I
that.
mean, hey, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's really interesting. Hey, I mean, as an artist, some of us are misunderstood. Many of us aren't heard. But hey, when we get that chance to show people what we're made of, we definitely do that. But just realizing too, like all of these projects you're focused on, that's great. That really shows the drive, the determination, and the focus that you have to have, to do what you love. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for you. But I think now it helps us transition to our last segment called the randoms, which is about 10 questions here that I have that may deal with dance, it may deal with art, but also everything in between. So I'm gonna throw the first one at you right now.
Mm.
Can you give me your superpower? If you could have one superpower, what is it?
Flying.
Hey, I love that answer. All right, let's go for number two. What's your favorite dish? If you can close your eyes and open them and you have your favorite meal sitting right in front of you, what is
Gallo pinto, and it's vegan. Gallo pinto is rice and beans, but it's what we eat in our country. Like basically 3 times a day, we can eat that.
it?
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, I love that as well. All right, next one. This should be interesting. Introvert or extrovert?
Confused. Um, I like to. I sometimes I picture myself as an introvert because I'm shy. But what others tell me, it's the opposite. So some people say that I'm an extrovert. I think one of the
Between.
it's weird. It depends. It depends. And like for example, I feel like right now I'm talking a lot. But I don't know. I feel comfortable. I mean,
That's the most
you're
important.
making me feel comfortable, so I have no problems like sharing my
Mhm.
fears and what makes me feel insecure and stuff. So I think it depends.
Yeah, I would say the perfect answer would be an introverted extrovert. Because I've actually heard that from artists. Like I've had an artist tell me like the ones that I love filming, and when they come off stage, they'd rather just hide in their rooms. And it's an interesting thing. Some of the people we know, like you and many of our artists, that we feel are so just a part of the scene and the parties and just the limelight of it. Really, a lot of us are more closed in than we really realize. So,
True.
our next question is: if you are closing a festival as a DJ, what is that last song you're playing?
Depends. You have to ask me what kind of festival. If it's salsa, is it bachata,
Mm.
is it zouk, or kizomba?
You know what? For you, how about I give you all four?
Okay, why not?
Let's
Okay,
go.
if it's salsa, there is one song that makes me really happy,
Mhm.
and it's from a Peruvian Japanese producer, and
Ooh.
it's funk, Uptown Funk salsa version.
Yes, I definitely. I see. Wait, are you talking about?
Tony Zucker,
Yes, Tony Sakar.
that
Oh my
that guy
God,
is a genius.
his Michael Jackson tribute is
That,
phenomenal.
that's how I like how I discover his music and he is
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
he's someone I look up to in terms of producing, not necessarily the genre because
yeah.
but in terms of like the creativity adapting and stuff is really good. If it's bachata, me emborracharé from
Of course, Grupo Extra.
you have to finish hard.
Mhm.
um if it's kizomba, there is a my favorite producer artist, and like he's really he's versatile. His name is LG Beats Killa, and he's from Cape Verde, a
Mm.
small country in South in Africa, but I think he's living in California now. But
Yeah.
he's a great artist. I really admire him, and he has a song Miss Killa, and it's a kizomba that it can be zoukable a little bit. Okay, so that would be for kizomba, and
Mhm.
then if it's zouk, it has to be I don't want to know from Fabio Gianni. It's like
Mhm.
my favorite song, and it's because of the Prague Congress. It that I mean, it is really it is a nice song, and it's also I don't know, it's just like special to me. It has a lot of meaning, so that would be my four.
I see. I love that as a DJ, you really understand the crowds and understand those four genres. There's those four styles, those four rooms. Your customers, the people, they want to see what you got. So I love that answer. This one should be interesting. Right now, you can close your eyes. When you open them, you are at your favorite festival or event. You're on the social dance floor. You are not DJing at this point,
Hmm.
and you can have one follow. Who is it?
My friend Allison from Minneapolis.
Good answer. Good answer. And see, hey, because I love asking that question because I mean, people, you've met so many people, probably danced with so many people, but
Yeah.
when that one person is in your head, it's right there. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I feel like I enjoy dancing with friends. I dancing with artists can teach you a lot about yourself, about the dance, about a lot of possibilities that things you never imagined that were even possible. And it can boost your confidence, and it can yield a lot of benefits dancing with an artist. But I feel like the reason I dance is because I want to share this passion with my friends. So she is one of my best friends, and definitely she's someone who enjoys dancing multiple genres,
Hmm.
and yeah, that would be her. Yeah.
All right, I love that. I love that. All right, next one is if you aren't dancing, or in your case as well, DJing, what are you doing on your spare time?
I'm drinking.
Hey, what, all right, what's your go-to drink if I may ask
I'm
that?
drinking. Oh, it depends. I'm a fan of vodka. I'm a
Okay.
fan of rum. I don't really like beer when I'm dancing at a congress and stuff because like it makes you heavy.
Hmm.
Yeah, it will be either rum, white, or whiskey. Yeah,
Okay. All right. I
and
like that. I
I
like.
like Maker's Mark.
Oh yes, I've heard definitely heard of them. All right, next one here. This should be interesting. Can you give me one fun fact about you?
I have very tiny hands. Like you see my body, it was like
Yeah.
this very big dude, and I compare my hands, and these are really small.
Hey, that's definitely interesting. But hey, I don't think it harms you on those DJ controllers. I think it helps you.
Yeah, kind of like I would prefer to have. I play guitar, and the problem is that I have these short
Hmm.
sausage fingers,
Yeah, like me.
and sadly, I would prefer to have longer fingers for the
Yeah.
guitar. It's really good for your speed, and
Hmm.
and cleanness. But sadly,
Yeah.
I don't. But at least I can. They can do the job for both the shutter and the knobs and buttons on the controller.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Next one is give me one word to describe North Carolina.
Green.
A lot of greenage, a lot of
my
foliage, a lot of trees.
my first impression. I mean, this is the first time that I'm spending a lot of time in this side of the country. I spend more
Yeah.
time in the West Coast, like California, LA,
Mhm.
Oregon, and Washington. And like my first impression after my sister picked me up at the airport was like, oh my god, there is so much green. Like that, I arrived in August, so it was still like summer, but
Mhm.
yeah, green and a lot of trees and a lot of space. I'm coming from Asia.
Yeah, it's so tight and compact,
Yeah,
and
where space is a unicorn.
yeah,
You will never see between two cities like a lot of mountains or forests. You will
mhm.
always see houses and farms and stuff. Yeah, because the space is really limited.
Okay, I like that. I like that. All
Not
right,
everything,
next
of
one.
course. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's see if this. Let's see if maybe you just answered my next question with this last answer. What's your favorite color?
I don't know. I like to say that I like red. Um,
Mhm.
I wear a lot of black, and I like the combinations with great colors. So I don't know. I think that I have to say red because
Okay.
overall, but like I feel like it's a great color. I like it. I enjoy it. But when I'm to decide if I want to buy something, I will rarely buy red things. Like for
Mhm.
example, these headphones. These are
Yeah.
my travel headphones, and yeah, they are red because I took the step, and I'm not fond of this color actually. Like
Yeah. Hey, I
I
mean, I
like
think.
it, but I like it. I like red color.
Okay, I like that. All right, well, now we are at our last question. And I love asking this to each and every one of my guests so far. And it goes like this. Galileo, when maybe you are in a new phase in your life in the future, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered like someone who tried. I don't know. One of my favorite songs is house music,
Hmm.
and the song goes like this. Um, um, One day you will leave this world behind, so live a life you will remember. So in this case, if I want to try something, if I like something, I want to try it
Hmm.
because there are no more opportunities when you're gone.
Yeah,
And I would like to be. I don't know if I'm talented or not. I
you
work,
are. You are Galileo.
I
I'm
work
telling
hard.
you, you're talented.
Thanks, but I like to believe that hard work matters a little more than talent,
Hmm.
and hard work implies that you try, that you will run the extra mile. And I feel like when someone try wants to work with me, I must deliver my best performance. Like,
Hmm.
by the way, think about working with me. I try. So I try my best
Hmm.
to deliver a good experience, to deliver what I was requested to deliver. And yeah, I would like to be remembered like someone who tried to live, um, and do what he was passionate about.
Mm. I love that answer because, again, like you said, really in full terms, you're never guaranteed tomorrow. So you should be living your life as best as you can, as much as you want to do. And even in your case, the stuff that you're doing is inspiring others. So I definitely believe you're doing amazing work. I thank you for answering this question, but I thank you for doing this segment. I really feel doing this segment, usually at the end, kind of brings the whole conversation in totality. And now we're at a conclusion of our talk tonight. And honestly, from start to finish, I've appreciated every moment of our conversation because, again, you even telling me how shy you were to do this, and after some time, you feeling truly comfortable and saying that it means a lot because I try to bring a safe space for people, have conversations. Most of the time are lighthearted and heartwarming, but certain conversations we might have can be controversial to some, but it's really just about learning and understanding. But most of all, having you on means a lot because I see your growth, I see your progression, I see your value. Um, and for me, I'm very happy that, especially the Zouk scene, but our dance scene has an artist, has a person like you. And I thank you for coming on. But before we do go, if you had any last few words for myself and the audience, but also contact info on how people can reach you and hire you at their next event.
Yeah. Well, first I have to say, well, I'm being redundant about this, but yeah, thank you for having this space. And like, I feel like you listen, right? You listen to what people say. Like when I met you, you listen to what I had to say.
Yeah.
Um, and you took this special feature of yours to a next level by having this live podcast and this space for artists to come and share their thoughts. So I would say, like, if I can give an advice or share an idea with anyone,
Hmm.
I'd be like, listen, listen to people, listen to you, to the people around you, um, because I feel like it's really meaningful when we are like, this world is so complicated right now that just by having someone listening to what we have to say
Yeah.
can make a huge difference. I try to advocate for mental health. It
Hmm.
is real thing, and I feel like this new context or this new anormality we have to live in
Hmm.
requires for us to be more connected in the ways that we can. So that would be the one
Yes.
thing. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as DJ.6 and six with double I, or you can find me at just Galileo Flores. Here people always say, like, can you spell that for me?
Yeah.
Flores. It's like flowers
Yes. I mean, hey,
with an R.
they can spell Galileo, but they can't spell Flores. There's
Yeah.
got to be an issue here. But hey, man, yeah, listen. Any way that this podcast can promote your work for the future, we're here for you. Because again, we're here for the artist, and I appreciate. And I will tell you, you're not sounding redundant. For me, again, this is a passion. And right now, you're episode 192. So this is a passion. This is something I love. I've been able to do this, and long after I am gone, this will live. And for me, that's the biggest blessing because not a lot of artists that I know have had these kind of conversations when it's just focused on not just what you do publicly, but who you are as a person. And again, man, that's why I do it. Again, guys, this is DJ Six. This is Galileo Flores, uh, spinning amazing music, creating amazing photography in the dance world. I appreciate his work. You should too. And guys, again, this is episode 192 of the Live Discussions with Diamond podcast. I'm Diamond here with the one and only Galileo Flores. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Stay tuned. Peace.